How's it going, gang? Chris Cards back through the mail on Monday. 6 returns for you today, all from 2020, a bunch in a box I've yet to open. So let's see who we got back 2.5 years ago when the pandemic was just starting out. Our first return from Boston, Massachusetts, and we've got Mr. Jim Rice. Nice, Jim Rice back when he was $10 a card. Now he's $20 a card. Thankfully, I got my set card signed back then. 89 Upper Deck there, 84 Tops. And he was so cheap back then, I even threw in another card just for the heck of it. A 16-year career with the Boston Red Sox, 2009 Hall of Fame inductee. In his very last year on the ballot, he got in. 1978 MVP, 8-time All-Star. You guys know Jim Rice. He's a great signer if you've got some money. I have not sent to him in a long time, not since getting all my cards signed. So thankfully, I have now opened this envelope. I can put these cards in my sets, and we can move on to our second return. Santa Ana, California, our second return here. Let's see who we've got in envelope numero dos. We've got a index card signed, and it's upside down. It is Dennis Lamp. Dennis Lamp, another 16-year career. Not as successful as Jim Rice's 16-year career, but not bad nonetheless. Played until he was almost 40. All the way up in 1992 there, you see him on a Topps card, 87 Topps card for the set, 89 Upper Deck card signed for the set, and for good measure, 84 Topps card signed for the set. Nice return from Mr. Dennis Lamp, who had a 96 and 96 career record. Ooh, so close to that over 500 mark. That's got to be hard to do, landing exactly on 500. Started with the Cubs, ended up with the White Sox and 4 other teams after that. Started mostly for the Cubs and Sox and turned into a reliever towards the end of his career there. Gave up two milestones, Lou Brock's 3,000th hit and Cal Ripken's first hit. So there you guys go. There's Dennis Lamp's information. Even though these returns are a little old, I am making sure the information is up to date. So these addresses are still good. I am double checking before, posting these videos and whatnot. So there you guys go. Dennis Lamp, our second return. Let's move on to return number 3. Alrighty, Evansville, Indiana, a uncommon return location for Through the Mail Monday. And if I can get it out, we've got Danny Morris. Danny Morris completed my 1969 Topps Loop variant, Craig Nettles rookie card. And that is a beautiful card. The Loop variant, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, instead of the black line going along the Twins logo, it goes out and down. That is the Loop variant. It is slightly more rare than the regular version. A few extra dollars more premium involved with that, but not that uncommon of a card. These cards are very hard to find with good centering. That's really the big issue with these cards in 1969. So very sharp edges, very clean surface. I'll probably get this graded and authenticated as well, just to see what it comes back as. I know the top to bottom centering is dreadful, but this is a very nice return from Danny Morris. 6 total games, 3 in 68, 3 in 69. He had a real big arm, threw up to 98 back when 98 was uncommon, but his arm would not stay on his body. He threw it off, he got hurt, and that was pretty much the end of Danny Morris. There you guys go. Danny Morris, nice return from him. Greg Nettles was a private signing, $17. Finally glad to open up this envelope. I have thought about this card for a couple years now. I'm wondering where it might be. So nice return there from Mr. Morris. Let's move on to our next return. Okie dokie, Santa Ana, California. Once again, let us see who is in our next return. Looks like we got Mr. Sambito, Mr. Joe Sambito, lefty reliever out of the pen. Had a nice run with the Astros, Red Sox as well. 85 Mets tenure was dreadful, certainly forgettable. This guy has a grip of cards in the early 80s. Every other pack had a Joe Sambito card in it. Didn't matter what product you opened. 1979 All-Star. Spent 11 years in the big leagues. Very nice return from Mr. Joe Sambito. Was a player rep. After he retired, rep guys like Andy Pettitte, Ryan Klesko, and Jeff D'Amico. 2 of those things are not like the other. There you guys go. There's his information locked and loaded for your through the mail auto requests. Get it done, guys. Let's go. Let's bombard Joe Sambito with requests. Let's wear out his arm, his right arm, his left arm. He's lefty. He's a southpaw. Let's move on, guys. Next return. Let's do it. Sometimes I bring the energy, sometimes I'm just nice and mellow about it. This one is from Texas, 2020, June of 2020. Let's see who we have here. We've got a little insert. We got Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts, 10-year career, 72 to 82. Now there are 6 Dave Roberts. This is not the Dave Roberts who managed the Dodgers out of the playoffs last week. This is a different Dave Roberts. This is 74 Topps Dave Roberts. Hopefully my camera will focus here in a second. I can't really see it, but I know it's not focused. There we go. I got this overhead view, and I'm looking under the camera, so I have to look up and see the camera and see what I'm shooting. So that's why I try to center everything on that Through the Mail Monday signature on there. He is Team Jesus, and we got a pamphlet with a crossed out P.O. box in the bottom of it. That is a key detail. And there you guys go. Awesome return from Dave Roberts, who grew up in Lebanon, Oregon, just a few short minutes from where I live. Went to Corvallis High School here in Oregon, and of course was a University of Oregon Duck back in the day when they still had a baseball team. They had their baseball team taken away for quite a few years. Of course, it is now back and in full effect. Dave Roberts now residing in Texas, where I hear everything is bigger. And that's it, guys. Dave Roberts, great signer. Third baseman / catcher, kind of a backup catcher for most of his career, but he managed 10 years in the major leagues, which is 10 more than most of us. So good job, Dave Roberts. Thanks for the return. Let's move on now to our final return of the day, return number 6. All right, my friends, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from April of 2020. We got a Sesame Street stamp. Haven't seen them in a while. 2 years, in fact. Well, here you guys go. We've got our final return of the day, and we've got a signature card signed by Mr. Dave Giusti. Another pitcher. This was a pitcher-heavy Through the Mail on Monday, 15 years in the bigs. His record was 193, so unlike Dennis Lamp, he made it over that prestigious 500 mark. Threw a lot of sweet pitches. Threw the Palm Bar. Palm Bar sounds delicious. It sounds like actually, it sounds like a bar soap. Palm Ball was basically a changeup, and there are better changeups to throw, such as the circle changeup has more movement and action. Palm Bar, if you couldn't pitch it right, I called it a Palm Bar again, didn't I? If that wasn't pitched right, it got hit pretty hard. It was a slightly faster changeup, and it didn't have much action, so yeah. That's why you don't hear the Palm Bar. Damn it, I said it again, and I slowed it down and everything. That's why you don't hear the Palm Ball much anymore. Yes, good thing this is the last return here. Dave Giusti, there's the information. As you can tell, his address did change, so I conveniently slipped in a picture of a index card over the actual address, so you guys would not get confused and yell at me that you got an RTS or something. So there you guys go. Not much else to say about Dave Giusti. Of course, he was on that 71 Pirates team that won it All-Star in 1973. Syracuse Orangemen, pride of. And that is it, my friends, for Through the Mail, Monday, number 196. Put it in the books. Have I recovered from the Mets ouster of the playoffs? Yeah, I was pretty good. I started watching baseball middle of the week, probably. I was kind of trying to pull for the Mariners. I was actually pulling for the Phillies. I mean, I hate the Phillies and the Braves, don't get me wrong. But this year, with the Braves just going on an absolute tear and catching the Mets and tying them in the season standings, that's just crazy. I mean, the Mets played really good ball, and the Braves played out of their mind. So unlike other years when the Mets had collapses, this did not feel like a collapse. This felt like the Braves were playing like their hair was on fire, and they were just out of their minds, winning everything. So, you know, when I look back to the season, I'll remember that. I'll remember that we had a pretty good year. 100-win team. That's what, the 4th time in history. The 2nd most wins, aside from the 86 team, which won 108. So, good year. Tip your hat to the Braves. They had great pitching, good hitting all year, and their style of hitting won out over the Mets. Their all or nothing approach, and the Mets sort of putting together big innings and working the pitch count. I mean, that worked for the whole year. They had a good record, so you really can't fault them for that. And they had the chance to just win one game against the Cubs, and they would have, won the division. They couldn't beat the Cubs. They couldn't beat the Braves. They had their best guys going for them. Same with their game against the Padres. They had their best guys going for them, and just nothing. They just lost. They just got their butts kicked. So, it hurts because I'm such a big fan. But then again, it doesn't hurt because they just got outplayed, and there's nothing you can do. But hope they improve upon their team for next year and maybe hopefully win 102 games next year. I don't know what the future holds for the Mets. I don't know what the future holds for the Braves. They got knocked out. So, yeah, I had an odd. It was an odd position since I hate the Phillies and Noah Syndergaard's on a team, and I don't want him to get a ring because he turned down a qualifying offer from the Mets last year to go to the Angels, and I'm still bitter about that. And he would have been helpful this year for sure. He didn't have a great year, but he was probably better than our number 4, number 5, and Tyler McGill, who started off hot, but came back to reality pretty quick. So of course he was hurt most of the year anyway. So it would have been nice to have a guy like Syndergaard on a team, but you know he turned down whatever 19 million to go play for the Angels for like 19.5 million. So whatever. I'm not bitter. says the bitter baseball fan. All right, gang. Hope everyone enjoyed this week's Through the Mail Monday. Yankees staved off elimination today, which is Sunday night. I'm doing this, and that's cool. Game 5, that'll be fun. I have no idea who's going to win. Dodgers got knocked off. That was crazy. Padres, they're doing good. Phillies, okay. Here's my prediction. We are going to have an Astros-Padres World Series. And I hate to say it, but the Astros are winning it all. I'm sorry. That sucks. The only person I'm happy for is Dusty Baker because he has been doing it for a long time. He's a great TTMer, and I'd love to see him get a ring. But I'm not rooting for him. I don't even know if I'd root for the Padres over that whole thing because Joe Musgrove pissed me off on last Saturday, or last Sunday. But his ear was like bright red. I mean, you gotta check, right? I mean, it's the eliminating game of the playoffs. You just it was weird. Oh, whatever. He got all mad about it. That's fine. That was great. Loved it. I love Buck Showalter. He's the villain. And that's it, gang. Hope everyone has a great week. Fall is here. Feels good. Weather's not as hot. It's nice and cool when we go out now. Leaves are crinkling under our feet underground. It is definitely fall out there. Halloween's coming up. And hope everyone out there has a wonderful week. As I've always said, have a great week. Why not? It's better than having a crappy week. And trying to not say and I'm freestyling here. When I freestyle, I say and a lot. Not that I don't freestyle during the baseball stuff, but when I'm talking about the cards and the players, it's different. And gives me that chance to think about what I'm going to say next. So got to eliminate that. I've been doing this for a few years now. That reminds me back when I was in high school, Prineville, Oregon, when I took the bus to school, they'd always have the country station on in the morning, and they played something called the game. And they would have a caller call in, and they would play the game, and they would answer like 3 or 4 questions. And if they could answer all 3 or 4 questions without saying they won. And if they said obviously buzzer would sound, and that would be the end of the game. So the game, Prineville, Oregon. The station doesn't exist anymore. Boone Elliott. Crazy, I just remember the guy's name, but he was an enormous man, and I don't think he's with us anymore, but yeah. Anyway, really irks me, but whatever. It is what it is. Hope you guys don't mind. That's it. That's all I got. See ya.